Welcome to Creators Head Studio. I'm Tom Arcu, feature film producer, director, screenwriter, and novelist.
And I'm John Colton, creator of ColtonComics.com and writer of Paul Bunyan versus Dracula.
John, you just attended FanX or Fan Experience in Salt Lake City. How'd it go?
FanX was fantastic.
Ah,
It is probably the third largest comic convention in the country.
excellent.
I think it's third only after San Diego Comic Con
Hmm.
and New York City Comic Con.
Got it.
It's one of the newest. It's been around 6 or 7 years, and it's one of the best.
Now, you mentioned to me that there were three main things you brought back from that convention.
My big three things I noticed were really just the power of the fan experience and the
Mhm.
power of regular people and fans coming into contact with these big creators and big movie stars
Wow.
and getting to meet them, one on
Hmm.
one and firsthand. And
Hmm.
what a brilliant thing that is. The second thing is the cosplay experience and just how much that adds to the convention.
Hmm.
I mean, it's the only place where you really get to do that.
Ah.
And at Salt Lake, there were so many amazing cosplayers, so many costumes that were just mind-blowing.
Ah.
And having been to San Diego a few times, I don't want to say it's better than San Diego, but it's definitely up there. It's top tier. I think it might be better.
Hmm.
If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments below.
Oh, indeed.
And and the third thing was just one thing I think they could do better that they
Hmm.
they ought to.
Okay.
Talking about the fan experience
Hmm.
and people getting to meet, some of their favorite characters and things in real life,
Hmm.
just going around the convention and talking to people, it was just so neat hearing about all these different interactions that people were having.
Ah.
And this one group that I met, they got to meet pretty much the cast of The Lord of the Rings.
Wow. How about that?
And yeah, they got to have their family take pictures with Elijah Wood, Sean Astin, Dominique Moynihan, Billy Boyd, Andy Serkis, and John Rice Davies. And they were all there at one table, and you could meet them all. And they
Hmm.
said they were all, just goofing around, having
Hmm.
fun with the fans, interacting with them, throwing out their favorite quotes from the movies.
Ah.
And at one point, time had run out,
Hmm.
and all of these Lord of the Rings cast members stayed an extra 3 hours past
Wow.
their allotted convention time
Hmm.
just to take pictures and sign autographs and make sure that everybody that was in line to see them got to see them that day.
Wonderful. Wonderful.
And then I met another fan who met Anthony Daniels,
C3PO.
C3PO from
Oh,
Star
wow.
Wars.
Hmm.
And I mean, it had been his lifelong dream to meet Anthony Daniels. He said that he
Wow.
loved 3PO growing up. He said when he met him, he found himself crying. He was
Ah.
just so happy, so
Hmm.
ecstatic. He said Anthony Daniels was so kind to him and so nice. And he said he had really created a long-term memory that day,
Ah.
and that was going to be something he would just hold on to and remember for the rest of his life.
Wow. That's fantastic. It's a joy for actually people who are involved in the creative industry to be able to be kind and also just to see that they're a very important part of people's lives. I know that when I've worked jobs that are terrible, that it's the entertainment that sustains you. It's the entertainment that inspires you. And so it sounds like this was fantastic. This was a wonderful experience for the fan of Anthony Daniels, C3PO, and all these other experiences.
Right. So the second thing was the cosplay. And
Hmm.
I'm just always blown away because you have artists all over. You
Right.
have the comic book artists that are there. You have, the production artists from the movies. You have
Ah.
artists selling posters. And
Hmm.
then you have the cosplay artists,
Hmm.
which is its own unique uh, form of expression.
Right.
And Utah was just chock full of Mandalorians,
Mm-hmm.
Wolverines,
Sure.
Deadpools, uh, just and all these obscure costumes
Mm-hmm.
and comic books that even I'm not familiar with.
Mm-hmm.
And I would ask someone what their costume was, and they would tell me, "Oh, it's this comic book. You should read it, and it's got all these great things going on."
Mm-hmm.
And that's the one that really, really tickled me because one of the events that I'm planning to do with Paul Bunyan versus Dracula
Ah,
is a vampire cosplay contest.
excellent.
And if I can get 10% of whatever was going on at FanX, we're just going to have, video and pictures that are going to blow people's minds. There
Excellent.
was one cosplayer had made themselves into the xenomorph alien,
Wow.
complete with the little extra mouth that came out of their
Right.
mouth,
Oh, sure.
complete with the slime
Oh,
dripping
sure.
off of the mouth as they
Ooh.
walked around. And then they had a little girl dressed as Newt
Mm-hmm.
walking behind them with a mop and a bucket to clean up after the alien.
This is what I was wondering. How are they going to be kind to people about that? And
Yeah,
having Newt, how appropriate. Uh, yes, Mr. Xenomorph, I'll take care of that. Yeah,
yeah,
excellent.
absolutely.
Whether it's the next film or whatever is your next project, you got to stay strong. You're a creator, and we here at Creators Edge Studio want to support you. By the way, I support creators to stay strong and protect themselves with courses. This is one of my courses, Darkest Secrets of Persuasion and Seduction Masters, How to Protect Yourself and Turn the Power to Good. Click on the link in the description below. Go see this course and videos related to other courses I have for you.
So the third thing was
Mm-hmm.
there was just one thing that I felt like was missing,
Ah.
and that was a program.
Mm-hmm.
And I know a lot of comic conventions have kind of moved away from doing a paper program,
Mm-hmm.
but I think it's a mistake. I think there's a lot of benefits to a program. One, you have something to find out what's going on in case your phone dies.
Right. Oh,
And
sure.
two, you have a souvenir.
Yes.
And three, a lot of the conventions would use the program as a art contest
Ah.
and a way to promote a local artist so
Mm-hmm.
that not only did they get to do the cover of the program, their art was also made into t-shirts and posters and other things.
Right.
And so I feel like in the spirit of comic books and the
Mm-hmm.
history with paper,
Right.
let's print something with paper to celebrate this Comic Con and give everybody a souvenir that way.
Right. And also one could be clever about sponsorship and different things by having, almost like tiny ads or something in there so it could pay for itself. But the thing is that when Walt Disney was running Disneyland, he knew that the tickets, everything, the little program, the little map, he knew all of that people would treasure, they would keep it, they would put them into photo albums, it would become part of family history, all of that. And that's why he took time and effort and artistry because he knew that the program was part of the Disneyland experience. I'm with you. I'm glad that you mentioned that, and who knows, maybe somebody will, in the spirit of Disneyland and Walt Disney and the idea
Yeah.
of artistry, would carry on the tradition. Let's have a
Yeah. I mean, what do y'all think? Is that a good idea? Let us know in the comments below.
right. And if you get fired up, make a petition or something. I don't know.
Yeah.
But so excellent, excellent. And so here at Creators Edge Studio, that's what we aim to do. We don't just talk entertainment.
We create it.